Welcome back to Python MC. In this section, we are going to look at a new data structure called dictionaries. And we're going to compare that to lists. We've seen lists before in previous lessons. For example, we had this is example with cars equals, then it's a list of different car manufacturers or car brands. And it's in these square brackets. That's how you define a list. You have a variable name with an equal sign, square brackets, and then you have the items in the list separated by a comma. We've seen this before when we tried to capture, for example, fruits equals and then a collection of fruits, or when we used it for like beats, like hip hop beats. These are all examples from previous lessons in Python MC. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a dictionary. The difference with a dictionary is that while lists have these square brackets, dictionaries have these curly brackets. And notice what we're doing in here. It's not just simply a list separated by a comma. It's actually these pairs of values. So you have this key value pairs. The key in this case is the state name. The value is the capital. You can see it's similar to like an English dictionary. You have, let's say, the word with a colon and the definition. That's exactly what the same concept here. It's a way to easily look up information by this key in this case. So you can quickly look up the state name and then get this value of the capital very, very quickly. So let's compare this to the lists in more detail. So lists basically capture any type of information in the order that you type it in. So I want the order I define here. So in this case, I put in apples first, I put in pears second, and oranges third, and bananas fourth. Well, as dictionaries, it doesn't really matter what order you put it in, because the way you're going to access that is by looking for that key. In this case, these are planet names with the value as the keys, and the values in those pairs are the distance from the sun. So let's say another example to compare the differences is to show that really lists and dictionaries can collect really any type of data as a value. So here's some random information in a list. You can see it's a floating point and with the value of pi, and some stuff is a string, and 42 is just an integer. Similarly, with dictionaries, you can notice the values could be strings, it could be numbers, it could actually be other lists or dictionaries. Let's try to call these. So the way to call these is simply, I'm going to go ahead and print planets with the brackets Mercury. And that's how you call it. You basically are the name of the dictionary, planets, the key that you're looking up, Mercury, and then it'll spit out the number of 57.9 million kilometers. So it'll just spit out the value in the print statement. Now let's try this with the state capitals example from before. We could say in this case state capitals with the square brackets saying I want the capital of Alabama, and then it quickly looks that up. So just think of it as a quick way to look up information. Now compare that to how you access lists. So we have this fruits example up here, and we simply typed in the index value instead. So you can't really type in like a key because there's no key like a dictionary. So you can just say at what place in this list do you find this value. So remember, lists start at a 0 index. There's some mathematical reasons behind the scenes here, but just remember the first item in a list is not at position 1, it's position 0, and then it counts up from there. We've learned that in previous lessons. And similarly, if we want to, let's say, access the third item, we actually say fruits in square brackets 2, and that'll get us oranges. So let's run this again, and we can see that, forgot to put the print statement. Print fruits, and then I'm going to print this out, and you should see the values will show you the first value in the list and the third value, because it starts at 0, and so the third value, this is 0, and the pears is at 1, and orange is at 2, and then bananas is at 3. So those are the differences between dictionaries and lists. Next section, we'll break this code. We'll see you again on Python MC. Python MC.
MCs.